it's true. I'm single, and honest to God, guys, I have never minded being single because my life is so full. I get to go to a lot of stuff. I know a lot of great people. And so I've never minded, but this is something, and I used to look forward when I'd have a quiet weekend where you don't have to get dressed. I actually look forward to that. But now that this is sort of it feels very, very daunting and actually very, very scary to me, because I just think there's no end in sight. That's what's so troubling about this. There's no end in sight to it. And just when you think, well, I haven't even got to a point where I feel it'll be over by April, it'll be over by May. This thing is such a moving target. I don't think even the experts know when this will be over. And I've talked to single friends about this, Cheryl, no kidding, men and women. A male friend of mine who said, I'm even a loner, and this is very troubling to me. I think there is a good story there and about why this bothers us.
Yeah,
really,
it is. You know, but here's the other thing: is you're alone. You're not with your children, right?
Well, that Marie,
and how are you staying connected? I mean, that's tough on me too.
I hit that on the head, because listen, and my children are 32 and 33. They're potty trained and employed, and they live in Los Angeles, where you guys are. So just the thought that I don't even know when I'll be able to see them in person is upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't know when Oprah and I will be able to, visit is upsetting. All the people who I really cherish the most, I don't know when that's going to be. That said, I sit here, knock on wood, healthy, they're healthy. And I look at what other people are dealing with, so I can't have a big don't cry for me Argentina moment, because it is still very sad for me, but people are dealing with a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
And I don't minimize that whatsoever. But that said, this is hard.
Okay, so y'all just heard that right here. Now this is unexpected, because good thing I went on to Facebook to find this one. I didn't go looking for it, it just happened to be posted up in my timeline right here. So that was Gayle the Gargantuan, who was pouring her heart out on a live stream that was to The Talk, the talk show, The Talk on CBS, with the women of that panel. And she went on to discuss how she enjoys being a single woman, but not in a time like this. It's for her scary and daunting, basically saying something could happen and no one would be there to protect her, quote unquote. But notice that when she mentioned someone by name, she mentioned Oprah. Now it's crazy, because didn't Oprah just kick Stedman out of the main house and put him in the guest house? Gayle, she's basically giving you a signal to head right on over and slide right on in. Well, you can't slide in per se, if you get what I mean, but you just go over there. She's giving you an open invitation, like literally. And notice that she had to find a way that she slipped in, about men and women being single during this time. And then when she gave an example, she was talking about her friend who was a man who said he was a loner, but this is getting to him too. I said, nice way to just slither that little piece right on in there, Gayle. We know you were probably really talking about yourself. But the funniest thing about this whole thing is Gayle the Gargantuan represents a fraction of women who are on this. I'm so strong, I'm so independent, I can do this all by myself, I don't need a mate for this, that, and for whatever. But in the midst of a crisis like this, now they're looking for someone to reach out to, a shoulder to lean on, someone's arms to be in, but they don't have that companionship. And it's something I and many other men in particular have noticed when it comes to women. As a matter of fact, Chris Crazy House, aka Black Opinion 2, just recently did a video last week how he was saying a lot of women, black women in particular, were going around saying niggas ain't shit, they ain't this, they ain't that. But the minute that a crisis happens like this, now it's like, oh my God, I need you, let me just run into your arms like this is one of those Disney fairy tales, so you can spin me around and take me up into your castle and away from all of this. It's amazing how all of that happens. Now, that's what she gets. This woman has spent so many years spitting out vitriol, being Oprah Winfrey's lackey about black men that she doesn't even have one, if that's what she's even interested in. And now that she's in the midst of a crisis like the pandemic, like all of us are, now she needs a mate. Now she needs one. But like I said, she's a small fraction of women who operate and think just like that. So my question to Gayle the Gargantuan is, once this thing is over, will you still have your companion there with you, or will you toss them to the side like yesterday's garbage because they have fulfilled your little conquest or your little temporary mission of having someone next to you because you're scared? This is how you can tell a woman like her doesn't know how to have or handle a good relationship. A man, to me, in her eyes, is someone who's nothing more than a prop. Someone who's just there. She's basically looking for her Stedman. You know how Oprah has Stedman? She's looking for her Stedman Graham. That's what she wants, and she's having trouble trying to find it. And to be honest, with her behavior and how she's been acting, no one is ever going to look her way. The only men in her life are her two sons. That's the only men I think that could possibly ever be in her life. Oh, Gayle has been past the wall. She has practically bulldozed through that wall. And speaking of messed up, I've always said never trust a woman with a crooked wig. Look at that sloped forehead. No wonder she always wear the wig with the bang. Look at that head of hers. But anyway, this concludes this edition of the Petty Pendergrass Productions. I'm so glad I was able to do this and bring this towards you today. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you have your notifications turned on. Follow me on Twitter if you have not done so already. And I will talk to you in the next one.